Hey guys, welcome to Michelle's Opinions, Getting to Know You show. Well, I had a weird dream last night, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. I'm also going to open the floor to allow other people to come in and say hello. I ask that you just spend maybe 5 minutes in, and then allow for somebody else to come up and say hello. I do also want to announce that I have some interviews coming up. One with a man named Brandon, that will be on Friday. Uh, Dan from Scara Performance will be coming on. We're working out scheduling now. Um, and I don't want to leave anybody out. Burma, she's been super busy, and my goodness, she's been blessed beyond measure. And this would be a wonderful interview. Um, Jacob Israel, we're working on timing with him. A lot of these people have active channels themselves, so they have a lot going on in their real life along with their channel life. So yeah, we run into scheduling difficulties. That's what I'm doing, with Burma. And I'll tell you guys, you're really gonna love that interview. I had another lady yesterday approach me. It looks like we'll be looking at next Wednesday for her. I'm hoping she pops on and says hello and introduces herself and a little bit about her. Yeah, just a lot going on, you guys. Just absolutely amazing. Give me a second so I can pull this up on my homepage so I can see the chat. Bear with me just one moment. Phoenix Rising, she's here. I'm all popped in, LOL. Great, great. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Bob. Yeah, I can't chew bubblegum and walk. That's a problem. So all of these, amazing people are coming forward to share their stories, share what they're going through. And, you may not resonate with me and you may resonate with them. And that's part of why I'm introducing so many people, because, the synchronicities in each of our testimonies, we may all have different cultures, backgrounds, religious upbringings. Um, it doesn't matter. There seems to be synchronicities within them all. And if you resonate with somebody that will, help you with what you're going through, I'm all for it. It's all about expansion. Another thing that I've done is I've opened a Facebook group. Hey, Fizzy Pop. I've opened up a Facebook group. You can find that on my About section. If you send a friend request, you need to let me know that this is where you found me and that you want to be added to that group, and I will gladly add you to that group. Everything you post in there will not show up on your own homepage. It is a private and secret group. That group is expanding faster than I thought it would. I'm really happy with that expansion, and I've been sharing in there works of my friends that I know that have helped me grow. So, there's a lot of great things going on, guys. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm going to type in my email address. If you're willing to pop on live, I will be looking for emails, and I will send you the Hangout link when it comes time to open the floor for people to come in. Remember, guys, let's make room for several people to come on. So, kind of a little summary. And, after you tell a little bit about yourself, if you're interested in coming back and doing a full hour-long interview, I will be happy to accommodate you. Okay, let me type that in there for you guys real quick. Mind you, I set this account up in 2011, 2012. And that's where it started. And I have to say that just because I had that cultural upbringing, um, I still got through it. You get set free. Hello, cowboy. So, it doesn't seem to matter what our background is. It's a matter of pressing through, and our hearts just expand. And I'm very, very grateful for everybody that is, being so supportive and loving here. Um, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Shane from Unbiased and On the Fence, he did an interview this week. Um, Absolutely wonderful. And then Captain, he's got a channel. He did an interview. He writes rap music. These interviews, you guys, that just shows so much unity and diversity. And it seems like no matter what path, if you're seeking, you're going to pop out and we're all coming into the same understanding. So beautiful. We also have a group a chat forum that we all meet in called Flame. And moderators will be able to drop that link in the chat stream, periodically. So if you're interested in joining that group, you're more than welcome. So, Fizzy Pop, I just love your voice. I hope you send you send a message just so they can hear you. I just want you to say, Fizzy Pop. Okay, let's talk about this weird dream. Happened last night. I went to bed really early last night, and I woke up at 10:30, just startled. Here's the weird thing. Before I tell you guys about the dream, when I went back to bed, Dark Wolf was live, thank goodness, so I was able to, kind of relax and listen to him talk for a little bit. And I've done an interview with him too, and he researches the Mandela effect. So if you're into that he's the guy to subscribe to. So he came home this morning. Well, I got up. He was up, because he had gotten home from work. And he asked me, he said, what was going on last night between 10:30 and 11? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I had this sudden urge that I needed to call you and make sure you were okay. Okay. So my husband felt this. So, I often talk about the tree of life and how we're all kind of looped in together, and how we affect one another, and how, him and I are obviously so close that when I'm startled or something is going on, he actually felt it and felt the urge to call me, and then thought, no, she's asleep. I don't want to wake her up. And, but just amazing that he brought that up this morning. The dream that I had, I was at a place, I was wearing clothing that it's not stuff I would wear today. It was either I was wearing a mini skirt or some really short shorts. I'm thinking it had to be a mini skirt because after I, as the dream progressed on, what I found out. And we were at some kind of a rally where people were like camping out and they were tenting. Seemed like a kind of a mountainous terrain, but I had the impression that there was like a beach, like maybe it was a large lake, and everybody was doing a peace rally or something, and there was going to be bands performing, and they were talking about the stage setups and things like that, and it was nighttime, and it was still in setup mode. So I began to walk out and say, okay, well, I need to go run this quick errand and I will be back. And I felt like I was accompanied by somebody. Somebody was going with me. For some reason, I got the impression that it was my husband, but it was not my husband. And I'll tell you how I found that out later. The next thing I know, I saw clearly this man's face. And I was attacked. Brutally attacked, just absolutely brutally attacked. Now, some things that when these kind of things are going on with us, when we're shown things, some things that I noticed is like when I laid down, the bed was vibrating a little bit, and I dismissed it to, I'm in California, maybe it's just small earthquakes and whatnot. Then my ears will like do this like buzz, on top of it. And as I was being held down, I was like pushed down on the hood of my car, and my purse and my car was being rifled through. They were looking for something. And I was scratching and attacking back to try to break myself free in panic mode. The next thing I know, there was medical people with me, but I saw the man's face clear as day. I mean, I can picture it now. I can see him. I can see this person. This is not somebody that I know. And these medical people showed up, and I was looking for my cell phone to call the police to report the robbery or whatnot. Well, it showed me with this old, outdated phone that, I had, because it's showing, what I was doing is it was blending in parts of me into the dream, but then I was taken to and shown that it was phone booths, like lined up phone booths. And that was the pretty common thing then. So the cell phone thing, was unusable because it just wasn't there. Anyways, when the medical people were working on me, I'm like, I want to tell you what this man looks like. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. I want to tell what. And then they let me know that I was stabbed multiple times. I had deep lacerations in my leg and in my lower leg, my upper leg, on my arm, and I think a few in my back because I felt the wetness on my back. And they were giving me shots, like possibly local anesthetic, and trying to butterfly them as quickly as they could. And I was looking for my husband because I thought my husband was with me. Then they said I got a phone call, and I went to this phone bank of, like telephone booths, and I picked up the phone, and it was the voice of somebody that was allegedly my mother, and she said, he's not here. He's been shipped out of the country. Why are you asking for him, and why are you saying he was with you? And I was like, what in the heck is going on? Then immediately I woke up, and it felt so real, like it was happening to me. I didn't know what was going on. And I had the ears buzzing, and I was so rattled. I checked in Discord to my friends, and Father Boone was in there, and he was able to calm me down a bit. And then, like I said, then Dark Wolf was on, and I watched a little bit of him, and I calmed back down, and I went back to sleep and had a pretty eventless night. I rested very peacefully. But when I did lay down, I was, I went into a meditation, a calming, a clearing of my mind, and was trying to, I don't know how to put this, like help that person that is traumatized. Maybe they're still here wanting justice, because that's what I felt when I woke up, is I want justice. I want justice, And I found in my meditation that I was visualizing this like swirling portal opening up, and telling them to let go of that and allow the unconditional love to pour into them, and to just go on, because there's better places for them to be. Now, when my husband talked to me about this morning, we pondered it and discussed it back and forth. And I thought, well, possibly, maybe that happened to me. And then I came back because I had a lot of judgment, bitterness, or, so I'm here to try it again. And my husband started looking up locations, trying to see if I could see the location. Any of it looked familiar, and there was a few that he brought up. Where they had peace rallies and things like that. That did look familiar, but I had told him, that whatever that it had went into the light, so that's no longer a hindrance. But I think about my friend Mel, who's researching and looking into becoming a QHHT or a beyond QHHT healer, and what could be going on with us. Could we possibly come back, to make it through this time, and what kind, of healing can be done in those types of sessions when you find out, what happened to you. Was it a traumatic event that happened to you that then you left, and possibly came back? I don't know. I'm very open-minded about listening to other people's perspectives and views, um, because there's truth in it, and everybody's going through this wonderful transformation, and it's just as I've been saying to you guys, we share what we know and we listen so we can grow. But yeah, that's what was going on with that dream. Let me read some of the comments here. What's up, Jams? I've asked Jams if he wouldn't mind sitting in with me for the last part of the show while we have people flow in, to say hello. Are you up for that, Jams, or are you all tired of being online? Because I know you were live earlier, and I don't want to abuse our friendship. So I can actually send you the link in Discord if you've got that app open, or you can send it to that email that I gave you. And if you're willing to do that with me, I'll bring you in first, and then we'll start. Great. 15. That's about right. 15. I'm going to do the last 30 minutes of the show is going to be getting to know people and allowing them to come up and, kind of get your feet wet a little bit with, because I have to tell you guys, this is really an overcoming thing for me to be on camera and share what's going on with me. And I'll tell you, I am appreciating so much how much love is being shown, how many people are coming forward to talk about what's going on with them, to share and show that unity and diversity. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll type mine in one more time. It's easier for you to send it to me. Jams. Hang on. We are getting close to that, so. And I'll recognize your name right off the bat when I see that, if that's why you were sending it to me. Let me. So I do have some new emails already. Okay. Okay, Brandon has confirmed that he will be here Friday. Yay! Love introducing new people to our lovely foundation. We have built a really nice foundation where people are coming in. I call this the Great Expansion. I also want to let you guys know, I wish I had the link to share with you, but a member of our group, it seems like we're all expanding out and exploring new avenues. His name is Lenny, and he's doing a live radio show now daily. So we're all expanding out, but instead of separating, we're expanding out while staying united. It's absolutely wonderful. I love seeing it. Hey, Kat, how are you? Send me an email. I've got my Hangout open, and I'll send you the invite in to this one. I always open a new Hangout per show. That way, there's not a problem of other people coming in while I'm doing interviews and things like that. Phoenix. Hi, Rally. Just listening, huh? That's good. And Fizzy Pop. Even if you just come on and say Fizzy Pop. And you don't have to come on this forum that I'm doing today. Um, I know Jams will come on showing himself, but you can just come on as your little, emoji, your little icon, and you don't have to show. On interviews, yes, I prefer that you're on camera so people can see your eyes. Because that's a preference of mine. I like to see people's eyes. But when you have like large panel shows, it's really a drag uh, on the broadcast, so it makes it difficult. But when it's a one-on-one, it is not a problem at all. But for today, you can come on as just your little emoji, your little emoticon. You're on the road home. Um, really, because Lenny just announced it to us. I think it was yesterday, and he's still trying to figure out the software, and maybe it's new on the doing it through Discord for him to link it through that way. Not sure, but he presented it as new, and he's trying. He doesn't want to try, and he can't listen to anybody talk in the background or anything. He's not fluent enough with it yet, so he's pretty new to what he is doing. Like maybe it's branching it out from Discord. Not sure, but I still think it's amazing that he's doing this radio show. I look at it as an expansion. Okay, Joanna. Yes. Okay. I'm waiting for. Ooh, 222. What? As soon as I get Jam's email, then I will. We'll start bringing people in. About 8 minutes. The next thing I wanted to touch on was. Let me get snag the link real quick, so that way all I have to do is paste. No, not worry about it. Okay. I want to talk about, we all have different beginnings. So when I'm presenting, devotionals or little videos that I make, I'm putting out what I've been through to hopefully throw a rope out for somebody to grab. I know that nobody, including myself, will grab that rope until they're ready. So, just know when I'm presenting, when I'm getting what's going on, or trying to exercise the gifts. And, I often say we must learn to crawl, then walk, then we run, and then we fly. So, and what I'm seeing is these things are being cracked open in so many people. It's just absolutely wonderful. Okay. Yeah. Joanne, you will be on. Phoenix, it will be on. Um, so that is coming up. And like I said, Brandon just confirmed his interview for Friday, and Dan and I are working out a scheduling for his. I know he does his Speak Easy on Saturday and his Mandela Mondays. So, yeah. And anytime Shane wants to pop on, he's welcome. His energy. He's just a beautiful, beautiful soul. Just absolutely. Same with Glowing. My God, I saw so much similarity in when I was watching, reviewing the videos with their auras and the colors. Oh, wow, amazing. It's amazing the things that we are learning or remembering that could have possibly always been in us, but we got, you know, informed or programmed, and we're kind of breaking the programming. And I think, in the interview with Captain, one of the things that really stood out to me that I really, really enjoyed about what the messages that he put out, and it's something that I've thought about, for a long time, but the words that he put it in the analogies that he made, when there's two polar opposites, there's truth in both, but they're not full truth in both. And it's the old divide and conquer. So, neither one. Don't choose either one because you're polarizing. Then you can kind of get stuck. And then when you start to, you know, um, expand and grow and you start to withdraw from that, a lot of people can be very bitter towards you. And so, it is hard. As from speaking from one who was polarized, I know I was polarized, and I was my own worst enemy in overcoming these things that were going on. I know I got the whammy in 2012, but this started with dreams, vivid dreams, and out of body walking around, seeing myself laying in the bed, seeing the exact position that me and my husband were laying in. But I was diagnosed, this was in 2001, the doctor diagnosed me with night terrors and gave me a pill and said, here, take this, it'll stop them. And since I believed the pill would stop them, it stopped them. But guess what? It didn't stop them because they broke on through when they were ready. And I think I had to make up for some lost time or something. I don't know. You need about 10 more minutes. Okay. Okay. I'm dropping the link now to the first person coming in. Check your email, your Gmail account. And the jams will come in when he's leaving a little more time. We're going to go into the getting to know you. Guys, that's my email address listed above for my Gmail account. If you're interested in coming in and saying hello, um, try to keep it, 5 minutes so people can get to know you and stuff, and we'll flow through it there. We want to try and give everybody the chance. Oh, you do, cowboy? Yeah. I do too. I do. I'm a very active viewer. Yes. I'm doing a dream sequence. I'm trying to do a dream sequence, but ultimately, it is the dreamer that will figure out the puzzle or the parable or what is being taught, whether it's a self-reflection, possible traumatic event, whether it's prophetic, something that's going to happen in the future, or it is like that. Joanne, check your inbox. Venus rising. At first, you trusted the pill, and the second you no longer trusted it, it stopped working. Yeah, like the placebo effect, right? Now, in your Gmail account, you'll have the Hangout link. Yes, come on into that Hangout. And Phoenix Rising, you are coming on too. can see her, but I don't like not being able to see the chat. So let's see if I can see it here. Oops. No. Oh. One moment, please. When people come on, I can't see the chat. While she's working that out, I will work this out. That's terrible. I'm getting a computer out here, though. My husband definitely said I'm getting a second computer. It is coming, so I won't have this trouble. I don't know why it's saying that it's an hour and 30 minutes. Strange. Yeah, I haven't sent it to you yet, Phoenix. When Joanna comes in and when she leaves, then we'll bring them in. I want to bring people in one at a time, so that way we don't have an overlap. And when Jams comes in, he's going to help me. And that way I can look at the chat better, and then he can kind of help me hold down the fort until I get that second computer out here where I can actually read the chat and see what's going on. This one's saying comments. Only what? I don't know. Technical issues always. Are you able to get in, Joanne? Are you having an issue? Okay, what else? We could talk more about that buzzing or, like when I lay down, I guess I need to start, and it is about learning that when I'm laying down and I feel like the bed, shaking, that to just not dismiss that as, it's just a minor earthquake. Maybe it's a precursor to I'm gonna see something or something's going to go on there, and I need to pay attention. Trust me, it got my attention, all right. But my ears, it's like a buzzing sound, it's like so that seems to go along with it too. So it's an energetic. It's not uncomfortable. I mean, the ear ringing used to drive me crazy. But then now I understand that, okay, wait, this is a part of it. And I'm finding out that I get that feeling also very intensely when I pop out and walk around, or walking around my house, and my go-to is a light switch. If I can't turn the light switch on, I'm not in my body. I'm still asleep. So we're all learning, how to attune and understand what the heck's going on and who and what we truly are. It's just, it's amazing. It's like being stirred up into our remembrance. We'll give Joanne just a few more minutes to try and get it sorted out to pop in, and then we'll go to the next one. Because that's my fear that, and I already know that Phoenix, that you've already got hangouts established, so you're all down with it. You're all ready. So does anybody have any questions about the interviews or the things, the information that I'm putting out? what's going on, or anything to share, like what's going on with you. How many people in the room see the number synchronicities? I mean, numbers, numbers, numbers is what I call it, like everywhere. I think when I left it, we locked it up. We locked it up. Yeah, we can. We can get you in today. It's a small, just a 5 minute little thing that we're gonna do. Do you double numbers? And Raleigh, if this is just a meet and greet type format that I'm doing, kind of open format, and then we could discuss setting up a time for a one-on-one interview if you're interested in that. You look ugly and you show too much skin. Who does? Me? Yeah, 11 11s, 4 4 4s, 3 3 3s. Okay. Oh, it's not is. I have just a minute right now, but I found this numbers are not included in the effect changes. Really? Let me see right away. I don't have an email from you, Riley.
Can you hear me, Michele?
Joanne, you got in?
It kept hanging up on me. I don't know what was wrong. It hung up on me like 10 times.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
And I was like,
sorry.
okay, what's the problem? And I thought, well, it's never had problem when before,
Okay.
And it just kept hanging up on me over and over.
Meet sweet Joanne. And Joanne has been commenting such beautiful comments and everything on my videos, and now she's actually in our group. Can you guys hear her okay? Talk, Joanne. For some reason I'm not hearing you.
You can't hear me at all?
Oh, I hear you now. I hear you now.
It's because I'm on this stupid phone. It's hard for me to see on it, too. Is it too dark?
No, I can see your face. I can see your shiny face. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
So,
yeah, sometimes I don't talk very loud.
tell people about yourself.
Okay, I've discovered some things about myself just recently, but I'm an aware person. I was born on a reservation. I'm in my 60s, and I'm had one reading, and I was informed that I'm an indigo, and I truly believe I am. I've been having precognition dreams ever since I was little, and ever since I was a small child, I ran around telling everybody that people were colored. And what I meant by that was that I would see green and yellow and red and blue around people. So I told everybody, I would tell my grandmother, ooh, that person's blue and that person's green and that person's yellow. Well, then I discovered, in my teens that it was auras. I had read up on it, in school, and I had a strange crowd I used to hang out with. And it seems like since I've become aware, the first time I was aware that things had kind of changed around me was December of 2012. It was right after the Mayan calendar had said that we had transcended or changed into a new era. It was like I woke up and my house was not right. I went outside and the world wasn't right. Everything seemed different. And I was like, okay, where am I? It was like nothing was the same. It was just a
When was that,
subtle
Joanne?
difference.
When did that happen to you?
December 22nd, 2012.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
like, okay, where am I? It was like everything was just subtly different. It was just subtle differences. Like at my house, it was like I had this huge stairway and it always had this big cannonball on top of my baluster on the stairway. Well, suddenly it was not the same color that I had varnished it when we bought our house. It was a deep mahogany before, and all of a sudden it was maple. And I was like, okay, that's not what the varnish I put on it. And the pattern I had a inlaid wood pattern floor. Our house was over almost 150 years old. And the pattern on the floor was different. Nobody else noticed it, but I seen it. I sanded those floors. I varnished those floors. And they weren't the same. But nobody else noticed it. So, I didn't really say much. I just felt strange, even in my own house. I had put hours and hours in that place. I knew every little nook and cranny, and it wasn't my house. And, just things like that.
Upside down and like everything was just different for him.
Just little subtle differences like that. I would say something to my husband about, hey, so-and-so said that we needed, like there was several things set up for New Year's that we had to go do. Christmas, was always been at the house, so there wasn't no changes for that. But we had some appointments to go to some people's house for New Year's. And I mentioned it to him, and he said, well, no, they didn't invite us this year. And then I knew I was in a different world, because I remember specifically that this lady had came to the house and asked me to go over there. So, yeah.
That's tricky.
Things are weird.
2012 was when I got my big whammy, too. So, yeah, you're not alone in that. Mine was more around October, and then woof, the world flipped upside down. Everything seemed upside down and inverted. I was like, what has just happened?
Yeah, it was strange.
Hey, Jams, would it be easier if I just sent you the link in Discord, since you're having a problem using your composing an email from your Gmail to my Gmail? Answer in chat whenever you have a chance. But Joanne, please go on. You've got some really fascinating things to share with people. And what kind of cultural background did you come from? I mean, did you have any religious background or any of that stuff?
Well, I was born and raised until my teenage years on a reservation in Montana by Browning. I'm from the Blackfoot Nation. And if you're talking, you just went completely... I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
There for a minute, you were mute for me. I seen you moving your hands, but I couldn't hear you.
Oh, no. I'm trying to look at the inbox. Oh, there's Jams. Okay. Because he's supposed to come in and he was going to be my right-hand guy during this part of the process. So now he'll pop in and write it out with me. But no, I'm very interested in what you're saying. But I am going back to the email.
When I was a teenager, I didn't get along with my mother. I got along with my grandmother, but when she passed, it was time for me to go. Um, my mother and me were like oil and water. My father and me were like oil and water, and they were already separated. We had a real bad thing happen when I was like 7. Um, it was a I had a precognitive dream when I was 7, and it was a repetitive one. I had it 3 or 4 times, and it came true. And I lost a
I just lost
oh
your sound.
somebody else joined. I was like, what happened to my phone? And
Okay,
and I
hang on.
had this dream, and it came true. And eventually, that instant, what happened? It divided the family. And but I left home when I was only 14. I just couldn't get along with anybody, and then eventually I went into the army when I was 18, and life just went on from there. I was in a real bad accident, and I don't know how I ever survived that. If I did, some people say they think we died somewhere along the line. Who knows?
Yeah,
And
I've heard that too.
you know,
Yeah.
um, I know it was a near death during that, and then I did try to commit suicide at one point. I had an overdose, and I know that they had to restart my heart a couple times during that. So who knows? I may be
Wow.
floating around here as a spirit. Who knows?
Can you guys hear
But
me?
Yeah, I
yes, I hear you, Jams.
can't see you though.
I
Joanne, I would
I'll back
love,
off.
I will love, no, I would love for you to come on if you're willing, and do an hour interview. You've got a lot of things to share, and that would be absolutely great if you are willing. Get with me on that, and look, yeah, you've got a lot to share, and that would be amazing if you're interested. So
Yeah, I'm just now starting to get where I'm comfortable enough to do that. But I can't wait to hear what Jams has got to say.
Can y'all
he's
see
just
me
I'm
yet?
gonna.
No, we can't see you yet. No, he's just he's going to help, keep the things going because I have to keep bouncing back into the emails to bring people in. And I am going to now plop the link in for our next person to come in and share. So that will be you, Phoenix. As Joanne steps out, you can step on in. And
Yep.
Joanne,
Disconnect.
please
Talk
with
to you
me.
later, sweetheart.
Now get with me about an interview. That would be amazing. Absolutely
I
amazing.
will, hon. When
Okay.
you get some time. Plus, I'm trying to get this camera set up. I'll be doing videos.
Oh, wow. That's great. Yay. Love it.
All right. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can y'all see me now?
I'm not okay. Yeah.
Okay. I figured it
There
out.
you are. Yeah. It's hard on the one computer trying to look at the chat and then send the links out. I'm working on it. I'm learning as I go. Um, Phoenix Rising, please check your inbox.
It just took me a few minutes how to figure out how to get my green screen to work with the video.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And
Here.
she's in the house.
Nah.
You might want to mute your computer so we don't get loopy loops.
Oh, well, mute the computer.
Oh, mute the live stream. Just hit the so the
How
sound.
will I hear you if I mute you?
You're gonna hear me through your Hangouts.
Yeah.
Okay. Say something.
Hello, Phoenix Rising.
Yes.
Hello,
Okay.
Phoenix.
Hello.
Yeah, see, and that way it doesn't loop.
Ta-da! I had no clue. Wow.
Yeah, welcome. Now Phoenix is preparing to set up her one-on-one interview.
Yeah.
So introduce yourself to everybody and share something. Like, Joanne's is amazing. I loved her story. Oh my gosh. We got some awesome things going on. Right, Jimmy?
Yes, definitely. I've spoke with Joanne before, so I've heard some of her story. She got a lot of
Nice.
changes going on with her.
Yes. We all do. We all do.
Yeah. You got the truth. But yeah, my name is Paula, and I think the most fascinating thing that has ever happened to me was when I was about 2 or 3. My first full, complete thought, that much I do know, is how did I get here and how do I get out? Because there was all this yelling and screaming and evil around me, and these people I had to call family. And so, I don't know much about the 2012 awakening everybody got. I was born awake.
That's nice.
That's a good way to look at it too. You were born awake or
There's
conscious.
there's a lot of people that it just doesn't get like conformity that we go through with the educational system that at home or in their culture it's nurtured the entire time, so they don't have to go through this process that a lot of us are going through. So that's beautiful. Continue, please.
But yeah, so my family hated me. My birthday, my birth chart, my alchemical birth chart that Sister Levette did for me on her channel even states all of this, and she's never met me. She knew my story is the Cinderella story, and I'm the hated one, because I have the voice of reason, the voice of logic, and I know what real love is. Real love is not hoity-toity, ngoing, 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 love everybody, love everybody. Real love, it is important that people learn this, especially in the New Age community. Real love gives correction. When they see danger, it's our job to say, warning, Will Robinson, warning, you're about to walk off the cliff with a moron. So yeah, that's what I do. I just, I when I got 18, I got a rare illness called Behçet syndrome disease that was supposed to kill me. And I ate the Bible within 30 days. And at the end of it, at age 33, I was called to read the Bible. At the end of that 30 days, I was healed of that rare illness that doctors said there was no cure for.
Well, that's a blessing.
Yeah, well, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. It is a very powerful tool. We must learn how to use it.
Good
Um,
advice. Very good advice.
and, a lot of the people, they don't know how to use it. They don't have discernment. And faith is very important. This new age community, they want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They want to throw the Bible out altogether. I'm just, they never even read it. Everything there, well, not everything, but a lot of things that they're using, peace, love, joy, all that, came from the Bible. So it can't be thrown out. That's why I don't have a lot of subs on my channel, because I'm not going to let that pesky little Bible die.
Well, I read the Bible differently than how I read it before. It is such a beautiful book.
A different layer every time.
Yeah, it is such a beautiful book of transformation. And the Old Testament God versus New Testament, it just seems like the transformation that people go through. It even talks about the stony heart, and that you get a nice fleshly heart, and that you feel that warmth and that love and that gratitude. But I have to say, I don't hear a lot of people talking about is that it's not always peaches and cream.
Yeah.
There is a very dark part that we have to seek, and it is within each of us that we need to, go through that process so it gets removed. And it could be very depressing and very difficult. And when people are going and everyone's saying it's all sunshine and roses, they're misleading people, because if somebody's depressed or sick or having things go on with them, they're like, I'm doing it wrong. There's something wrong with me. And that's not true. That's not true at all. So I'm with you on that. And making a religion out of it is not the way to go. I mean, there's many books.
Life. Is it not? It's the book of life. It is there to teach us how to not be dead. It's there to teach us how to live and have life more abundantly. This is, as we are growing in this world, the breath of life is being breathed into us. It wasn't just an event that happened once a long time ago.
Right.
Okay. Can I throw my 2 cents in here real quick?
Go for it.
Sure.
I think this is what I think. I believe if you take all the books and you throw them in the damn trash, it don't take away the creator. And you guys got to remember that book was written by man, and it's a book of law. It was a book to control people, right? So if you think of it as that nature, your creator is within you. You are your creator. You don't need a church to make you believe that there's a higher power than you. You should know good and wrong by your heart. Your heart should tell you those things anyway. You don't need to go sit in front of a pastor to tell you to be a good person. You should know to be a good person within inside of you. So you take all them books and all this war and all these people fighting over these books. These books were written by man. Not one of these books was written by God himself. So there's no words written by God. It's words written by man that people are killing each other over. That's
I know,
my
and
opinion.
so what was just on here was awake from birth. So, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's just my 2 on it.
Oh, no. What I'm saying, we're all going through different journeys, and if the Bible is your tool, use your tool properly.
No, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the Bible. The Bible does teach a lot of good stuff. To be good, to be respectful.
I got
good morals.
with it.
It is a good book of morals.
Written on our heart already. When we're born with the good written on our heart. I had a revelation the other day about the free will. What is the free will? If the Bible says that you were already born with the truth written on your heart, and you were, and then you decide somebody has said or done something to you that you could choose to say or do the right thing in response to that, but the free will steps in and says, well, you don't have to be a good person if you don't want to. So the free will in my book is a trap.
Well, there are some of the religious systems in place. They say that, that we can do what we want to now because Christ has done it all for us on the cross. Well, I'm going to tell you, my friends, that is an error in thinking. If you're falling into a religion that is teaching that, then I tell you, if Christ had to spend the 40 days in the wilderness, why should you not? If he spent 3 days of darkness in hell, why do you think you're not going to? If you've been built up on the wrong foundation, your house will be torn down and the foundation will be set up on the rock. There is so much in that book that will help you. If you get in bondage into that book will also be the key to your freedom. If you are not in bondage to that book, and maybe you look at hieroglyphs, or you're into the science, or that's both of things. I'm going to stay on, unbiased on the fence here on that, because I am seeing from my observations people popping up that have nothing to do with Christianity. They're rising up and taking their place. It is beyond, and like Jimmy was saying, God is. He is beyond our comprehension. This place is beyond our comprehension, and he is much bigger than. And if you look at the Bible, how I see it now, and it may not resonate with other people. People will get what resonates with them. But the Old Testament, the jealous and wrathful and judgmental, I see people behaving that way.
Yes.
And they go through this transformation, and then they depolarize themselves, but they use discernment. Always use discernment. Follow, we're given these abilities for a reason, so that way we don't, you could just be plain ignorant and walk right into a lion's den and get ate up, and I'm speaking of other people. That will tear you up from the floor up because they will misinterpret that for weakness and devour you. But it's not. You come out strong and you're able to see the intentions behind what people are saying and discern whether or not you're going to partake or not. It's an amazing transformation. I highly recommend it.
Transfiguration on the mountain fact. I see the Bible as it is showing us the evolution of us. In the beginning, we were Luciferian, judgmental, finger pointing, blah, blah, blah. And in the end, we will be Christed and transfigured on the mount, which is the third eye, the brain. We will be transfigured into a new creation. How was Christ able to nail all the laws to the cross? Because he wrote them when he was Lucifer. That Bible is basically a story from Lucifer to Christ. And that is all of us.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
husband is very Luciferian. I am very Christed. So this revelation came to me from the highest. No one told me this.
Right. It came from within.
Yes.
And then it says in scripture that the instructions are sewed up into us while we sleep.
That's why he threw that holy stroke in the temple, and he said, "How will you escape damnation, you brood of vipers?" He was saying, "I wrote the book. That's why I'm telling you to quit reading it that way. They're reading it wrong. They're
Right.
teaching it wrong. They don't go in, nor do they let others enter in. And now they just want to throw it all away. And no, not on my channel."
Yeah. I get it. That's fine. And
Yeah.
we are doing an interview, I think, what was it, next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
so you'll get a full hour and we'll get into some pretty deep depths of why she feels the way that she feels and what she's learned through it. And you know what? That's what this is about, unity and diversity. Because like I said, I'm seeing people pop up that are not tied to any religion at all. I do look at religion. Yes.
Let me ask you guys this. How do you think God plays into this Mandela effect or our reality changing? Do you think this is a sign from God, like a lot of people think that it's end times and we're seeing these changes because Jesus is about to come back?
I think it's the end of time of the Lucifer, like as she was explaining. We're getting we're transubstantiated. We're realizing that we are the ones causing it. Now, I did just do a video. I haven't dropped it yet on my theory on the Mandela, that it could be some of them are done by a computer, which is a mimicker. But the reason we're seeing them is because we were the actual ones that were actually creating whatever was going on around us and something maybe hampering with it. But I'm still open, on that. And it could be some people are coming into the knowledge of who and what they are, and they're testing things because we're told to test all things. So you test your abilities and you see the results, and other people, are seeing the results from them. So I'm pretty open on that, Jeannie. That was a really good question.
Yeah, the powers that be are doing their Mandela effect to change things. Evil people are doing their powers that be to change things, and we are doing our powers that be to change things. And so everything just keeps changing.
That's right.
Okay, I feel where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
What's your thought on it, Jimmy?
I think it's people playing God. I don't think it's something divine, the reason we're seeing these changes. I think more people now are trying to play God and trying to figure out what created us and what created the universe, and they're toying with that. And that toying with that is causing this ripple effect in our timeline, and that is what we're seeing. Now, it don't mean that somebody is playing with this right now. It could be somebody playing with our timeline in the future. And this is rippling back in time, also rippling forward in time. Kind of like the butterfly effect. It's not just moving forward, it's changing stuff in the future, and it's also changing things in our past and our present. So we're seeing it in the present, and this don't mean that it's happening in our present, because I believe that our timeline is completely connected, our past, our present, and our future. So I believe that anytime any change is happening in our timeline, we're going to feel the ripple effect from it. And that's why it seems to come in little waves. Like there's a whole bunch of Mandela effects, and then there's not.
I know what she's going to say already about that because it's actually in the Bible. So, Paula, go ahead.
Well, maybe not. If everything is now and
really seasons and
everything changes. There's the times and the seasons and all that. But if there's really no yesterday and there is really no tomorrow, there is only now. Then it's all happening now, and it's why it's a tug of war between the reality that the powers that shouldn't be want and the reality that we want.
Melissa Kay said it is in the Bible. So I know it's in. I read that because he will seek to change times, and that could be exactly what Jimmy Jones just so eloquently described.
Yeah.
So right, and she's right. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm not telling you, Jimmy, to go run out and read a Bible. I'm telling you that that it's going on already within you by being an observer. You're seeing it, and you know that the divine breath of life is in you. So you're on your transformation already without having what I would call what I had to go through was religious bondage.
Yep.
I was I was in bondage to a certain religion, man-made doctrine, and I had to be set free of it. If you're only reading the Bible and not going into the churches, then you'll probably have a better shot of moving through it more quickly. That's just my opinion.
I left the TV shows watching the supposed ministers twisted all around into their witchcraft, and I got a Bible and sat in my room for a month and read it for myself and understood it the way it was meant to be understood.
Melissa Kay said the Mandela effect is in the Bible too. Where does it mention the Mandela effect, Melissa, in the Bible?
Hey, Matrix is in the Bible now, Jimmy.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard the Matrix was in.
Banks. Hey, you know, all those banks were established back in 2,000 years ago. Did you know that? No, I didn't. Did you know that Caesar is Abraham Lincoln? Because he's on the penny now. Where he used to be, Caesar is on the denarius. Now Caesar's image is on the penny. There's just some freaky stuff going on with that.
Caesar's image is on the penny.
Oh, I gotta go get me a penny. What?
I've never heard that.
Abe Lincoln is still on our penny.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is, it's in Luke, and it said that you know, and I just read it the night before, and I put it away with my place marker. And the next day I picked it up, and it was changed from Caesar's image. It's where Christ is saying, well, whose image? Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, give unto God what is God's. Okay. And he asked whose image was on the denarius. Okay. The next day I wake up, I open up my Bible, and it says, Caesar's image is on the penny. I'm like, what? No, that's Abe Lincoln. Always been Abe Lincoln. What just happened to my Bible? Now, this is my physical Bible that I had in my hand. It didn't go anywhere. All my little earmarks, everything was, all my little tabs and everything, placeholders, blew my socks off. So that one really affected me. So
you literally seen the change happen, like live for you. Like one day it was one thing, next day it was totally something different.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and when those happen, man, they really zing you.
A wolf instead of a lamb now in there.
Yeah, the wolf, that one zinged me too, because it was on Isaiah 11:6, and all these posters with that scripture. It's like, what?
The lion shall lay with the lamb.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not in the Bible anymore. So get over it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. But
I never. Also, I never remember seeing unicorn in the Bible anywhere. And I did read the Bible. I read it when I was in jail, but I did read it. And I don't remember seeing unicorn in the Bible.
Unicorns in there under Monoceros.
I remember seeing mammoth, like, you know, which, you know, pretty much meant large animal, but I don't never remember seeing unicorn anywhere in the Bible.
Well, the word unicorn isn't, but Monoceros with an M is. So, and it means unicorn.
Okay, well, maybe it was in there then.
Melissa said the lion is God and the lamb is Jesus. Well, I thought of them both as one. He's the lion and the lamb. And if you think about even that parable, that Christ is the roaring lion, the lion of the tribe of Judah, and he's the lamb that takes away all the sins of the earth. That's his a lamb is real kind and gentle, and a lion is carnivorous and, you know, king and lording over, right? So that actually shows more of his transformation. And also Christ's personality is changed in the Bible. You know, he said, those who would not worship me, bring them before me and slay them. I'm like, what? He never said that. That's in Luke also.
Well, I mean, the lion itself has changed. The lion used to be the king of the jungle, right? But a lion don't live in the jungle. It lives in the plains and the flatlands. So I always remembered the lion being the king of the jungle, but apparently tigers live in the jungle, you know? So the liger, the
liger, I've seen those. They never stop growing. They're huge. You'll go broke trying to feed that liger.
Oh, yeah. Good luck trying to feed it.
You'll become lunch.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait until next Wednesday, man. I've just got so much. I've been through Mormonism, Christianity, I looked at the Quran, checked out the Muslims. I went through the Hebrew roots, and I just can't wait to tell the story about the Hebrew roots. It's kind of funny.
Well, the whole crazy thing about this is there's so many religions. Somebody's wrong. Somebody's gonna
Every
find out in the
religion
end that
has at
they're
least
wrong.
one thing right. That's the pearl you have to go find.
Great, Les. I'm glad you're having a good time. I'm going to allow for one more person. Usually I like to stick at an hour. So I'm going to allow one more person because it looks like Raleigh is really trying to get in. He's tried to email a couple times, but he's gotten the email wrong. I forgot to tell you guys, my email is actually in the show more notes. So
Yeah.
I typed in the email correctly for you, Raleigh. So if you'll send me the email, we'll let Paula go because she's going to be coming on for an hour next Wednesday. Look forward to that interview because obviously it's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And so, so we'll have her, go ahead and fade out, and we will have Raleigh come in. In the meantime, you can put up with me and Jimmy gabbing for a few minutes. Thank you very much, Paula. And you will see her channel listings and all that stuff will come when we get her interview all set up. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
No worries, Michelle. When Raleigh gets here, he does all the talking.
Oh yeah, does he? Okay, this is a Jimmy Jam's friend.
So
Then I
it'll
take
go
it.
silent for me, and then I can unmute it, right?
Just hang up. Just there's a top. On the
Oh, I
top
go
there's a
in there and
phone.
hang up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, leave conversation. Bye, all.
No, we got an hour coming up. Don't worry.
It was awesome meeting you. Good hearing your story. That
You
was pretty
too.
cool.
Oh,
Thank
you're gonna hear all about her story when I get her for an hour. So
Oh, yeah, it's going to be on.
it's on. It's on. It'll be fun. It'll be great. And I
I
love
love you
showing.
guys.
I love showing the unity and diversity, that there's so many different ways that people are coming through and, and coming to these realizations. It doesn't matter if it's through religion or religion, like I said, to me it was my hindrance. I got stuck. I had to overcome all those doctrines in order to break free. So,
Yeah.
if your foundation is not on a good foundation, you get torn down to the bone and you can be really depressed. And that's normal. It's a normal part of this, guys. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. It also is said that, we're coming out of the age of Pisces, which is duality, and we're coming into the age of Aquarius, which is the water bearer. And in that age is a golden age, the age of knowing. So we are lucky in the respect that we got to live on both sides, and are going through this transformation into this new understanding. Absolutely beautiful. Beyond comprehension. What do you think, Jimmy?
I've slowly woken up to it more and more. Like I've noticed more things like synchronicities and changes, so much more than I ever had. Even today when I was live streaming, I was telling a story about when I was young and I worked for a company, this big company I worked for when I was making a bunch of money. So as soon as I end that live stream, I was telling everybody I got to go pay some taxes to the tax man. So I'm going to go, pay these taxes. I get in my Jeep, I drive down the street, and the first truck I see is an 18-wheeler from that company I work for. And was just talking about the place. I haven't seen one of them trucks in 10 years. And started talking about it. Bam, there it is in my existence, right in front of me. I mean, it was just like, it was the first thing I seen after telling the story. And it was just like, usually I probably wouldn't have paid it no mind. But since I've been noticing things, it's like, I notice stuff more that probably don't mean nothing or wouldn't have meant nothing to me before, but now it's like super ironic or crazy. And it was funny because when I was watching it, I was having my ears ringing real bad, like when I was live streaming, and I was telling everybody, I said, watch this, when I leave, I'm going to experience something crazy, or I'm going to find a crazy Mandela effect. It seems like I always do. And I didn't find a Mandela effect, but I did have that weird, crazy synchronicity this morning.
That's how it goes.
It just kind of messes with my mind that everything is connected like this. Like it's just a big spider web.
We've got Raleigh in the house.
Raleigh.
I'm sure.
Hello, welcome, welcome. Can't see you. Either set up your emoji or your camera. It's up to you.
think when everybody else comes up, it shows their pictures, but I don't think mine comes up on your screen because I'm actually screen sharing instead of coming straight through my camera.
I see you. I see you when you're in the little box.
Oh yeah. I don't never see. I don't never see me blow up. Yeah, I can see you perfectly fine, but I don't never see my picture blow up like everybody else's. It just stays little in the bottom.
Well, it's not. You're coming up full screen when you're talking. There's Raleigh. All right, Raleigh. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little. Obviously, Jimmy knows you, so tell me a little bit about yourself, please. Introduce yourself to everybody.
He drives a Firebird with T-tops. He's ready to raise hell.
Hey, Michelle, can you hear me all right? I moved outside.
Yes.
I've got pretty bad connections here.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Yes.
Well, I just have a minute here. I don't want to step on jams. Hey,
No,
Jimmy, you've got great things to share, and
he's a buffer.
Michelle, thank you so much for these. Thanks, Michelle, for these forums. Chat room forums, live chats. I really think that these are very productive.
I appreciate that. And it is about getting to know everybody and expanding and understanding what each of us are going through. So, yeah, I've seen you making some comments about numbers and things like that going on with you. So, if I'm remembering that right.
You know what? Let me just share briefly on that, just really quick, what I've seen in the last 3 years of studying effects. Okay. And I'll share on that, but I really do have a hot rod that's broken down, and I got to get this car fixed. Gotcha. And but what I've got is what I noticed. It was a couple of years ago, and I brought it up to a couple of the rooms. And tell me if you can see this or not. What has not been changed by the Mandela effects? Okay, so when you look at it that way, and I'm looking at different subjects and topics, and we'll zoom in on numbers. So do you see how numbers are not changed, like in the title of something, like I don't know if you're in the United States, but Motel 6 is not Motel 12.
Right.
Do you see that? Okay.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I've never seen a number.
So that's pretty significant, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, like Blink 182 is still Blink 182. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now, see, something like that would not be changed, like Van Halen 5150. Do you know what 5150 is?
Yes.
Jimmy
Jam. Yeah, it's where he's going to zoom off to in that time machine.
But anyway, I think that would make a great topic, Michelle. And then I do like your faith-based approach of this. And I just heard briefly unbiased on the fence, and then your idea of getting to know one another, that's very good too. We're like brothers and sisters in this, and it just seems to me, I'll just share this one last thing though, is that I just don't think that there's that many of us. I know it's been reported that there's millions of us, but I really just don't think it's that many of us that really truly care, that really see the effects clearly, and we all see them the same.
Right.
Did you have one question? Go ahead, Jimmy.
I think the masses may know about it, but not so much are locked into it or even interested in it, because so many people have such busy lives. It's not that they haven't noticed something. It's just they really don't care, And
I have to tell you, it'll knock you off. It doesn't matter how busy you are. It will get your attention.
Well, what I can do is direct you guys. I do have just a few videos. I just don't. The only reason that I'm even thinking of doing public videos, I mean, absolutely. The only one reason is because of these Mandela effects and the changes to the Holy Bible. And then, Michelle, I've brought this up before, it's changes to the Book of Mormon as well. If you didn't,
Wow.
if you weren't aware of that, yeah. If you look up the Book of Mormon, it's too hard to explain how I know about this. Um, Chapter 30 of Second Nephi in the Book of Mormon did have the lion and the lamb, and now it has the wolf and the lamb, just like the Bible.
Wow.
But I was gonna direct you to
That's why we share what we know, so we
what
can
Jimmy
listen.
what Jimmy Jams just shared was about people not caring, and I wouldn't call it exactly not caring. Well, it can be in cases, but if you see, I've got about 6 videos, okay, and 2 of those are an interview with a good friend of mine that's been a friend of mine for nearly 20 years. Okay, her name is Tammy. I interviewed her for about an hour. There's a part 1 and part 2, and she kind of sees the facts, but she just doesn't. And you can hear when I'm questioning her that she changes in mid sentence. I asked her about a name change, and then I asked her, "Well, do you really care about this?" And she said, "No, I have no fear. This is normal." And I just looked at her and I was like, "Okay, Tammy, okay, Tammy." And then I tease her and I'll try to get you guys to smile here because you guys can speak the same language. Tell me if you get this. I call her Tammy Twin 2 from Earth 2.0.
That over my head. I don't know that one.
She's like my Tammy that I do. You know what I mean? But I look at her and I go, "Oh my God, Tammy, do you really, really don't see why this is a big deal? That reality's changing around us." She goes, "No, not really a big deal. Nope."
See,
Anyway,
I think
go
maybe
ahead.
saying don't care, people not that don't care. I think that I would really say that they don't care. It's just I'm saying they're consumed with their life, and it's a large number of people that are really into the Mandela effect. That's in the community that come every day, and it's part of their life. And then other people, it's just a passing by thing. It's something cool to talk about at the water cooler. They'll hold a conversation about the Mandela effect, and then one day it'll be about something else, Roseanne Barr. And it's cool
Right.
to that level. I think most people as something cool to talk about around the water cooler, but I don't think everybody's just digging in and researching the Mandela effects in millions. It might be hundreds of thousands, but I don't think it's millions. But I think millions of people have come across the Mandela effect because I got videos where I talk about the Mandela effect and they got hundreds of thousands of plays. So you got to figure at least that many people. It got to be in the millions and the masses that know about it, but only in the hundreds of thousands that probably are consumed with it.
Yeah, I would say it would be in the tens of thousands because Jimmy, I don't know, you've seen me online 24/7, and I don't work. And what I do is I've devoted full time, but we're talking more than full time. I'm talking 16-hour days for 2.5 years. And what I've seen of the people that come and go in these rooms, in these chat rooms, the live chats, who posts and everything else, I would number it in the tens of thousands. And there's not that many in Europe, and there's quite a few of us in the United States and Canada. And that's what I see as just, you know what I mean? Not a, you see, that's what I see as far as the numbers and stuff like that.
Well,
Michelle, there's one more. Go ahead, Jim.
I think it's still growing. I like there's conferences and stuff going on. It's starting to hit mainstream media. It's starting to be part of little TV shows. I think it's still steadily growing. It's not
Boy,
something that's dying down. It's something that because stuff is definitely changing, and maybe stuff that changed in the past that people didn't see, but they're starting to see these new changes. So I feel
boy,
like new
I would
people
really
come
help.
in all the time, to this
I would
community.
really, I would really hope that that's the case. And Michelle, I'm going to share just 2 more things quickly, personal kind of, but it's very important. And I know a
Okay.
lot of people reach out. I don't want to, you know, I just, I'm really shy, you guys.
Yeah, I
But
am too.
anyway,
Really,
so I'm
I'm really out of my comfort zone.
I'm standing in 90-degree sunlight here. So I really got to get going. It's 90-degree sunlight. I'm standing outside here. I got to take cover. And then, well, I've had good friends. I'm old as dirt, Michelle, and I've had good friends for close to 25 years. And they were church members and they were Bible scholars. Please, you're just going to have to trust me, believe me. The scholars. I was joking with one friend that I called him a walking Strong's because he knew the Bible so well. And then when I brought it up to these handful of good Christian men and a couple of women, they asked me to, Raleigh, we will not speak of this again. We will not speak of this. And I've lost several friends. So there is caution and discretion needs to be used when you bring up these changes to people. I have counselors with veterans services, and I've got counselors, a couple of counselors. One counselor sees the effects. She's in a straitjacket. I think they put her on meds. And the other counselor that I brought this up to, I will hear about anything that you would like to speak with me about, except I do not want to hear any more about Mandela effect because it frightens me. And these are professional psych counselors.
Rightfully so, because it's a mind bender. It really is a mind bender.
Yeah. The other counselor,
to find out your reality is not what you think it is. It bends your mind.
Yeah, but I would just what I brought that up for is because I have lost dear friends, and I actually put myself close to in harm's way. The counselor said, Raleigh, we were pretty close to asking you if you'd like to go to the psych unit and be locked up about this before I had a chance to really talk through. I mean, this is pretty scary thing, you know what I mean? When you're bringing it up to friends or family. Have you heard Migsy B? Migsy B? Do you know who that is?
Is he breaking up on your end, Michelle? Because he's breaking up a little bit on my end.
For me too, yeah.
That's all right. Good night.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Love y'all. Good night.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Riley. I get what he's saying, that when you tell people, they kind of think you're crazy or they want to be around you because, they don't believe what you believe. In my case, when I told my friends, they think I'm crazy anyway. So it wasn't a big deal to tell them something crazy. And they all just blew it off as, oh, man, you're all in that conspiracy stuff. But now them same people that was like that to me are still my friends. But now they bring me Mandela effects. Jimmy, man, you got to check this out. This is different for me. So now they're starting to believe stuff I believe. So now I'm not crazy anymore. So now that, they know I'm not coming out of left field. When I say something's different to me, they actually believe it might be different to me. So they're not looking at me like I'm a nutcase anymore. They're more into it and, more supportive because now they're starting to believe it themselves. Not if they 100% believe it, but some of them are starting to actually believe it enough that they're telling me changes that they're seeing. So if you're gonna put yourself in that conversation, somewhat you believe it. You see what I'm saying? To me.
And what I'm trying to do here is after you've been affected, what does it mean? Where do we go from here? So that's what I'm trying to, because there are wonderful Mandela researchers, lots of them out there.
Yeah. What is
science and the testing?
What is the next chapter? I guess it's going to be somebody figuring out what's going on. If it's something that man is doing, I mean, I'm sure somebody will bring it to light because, what you do in the dark always comes to light. So if there's somebody playing with our reality, it's going to come to light eventually and we will know. If it's divine, we might not know till we meet our maker, and that's what intrigues me about it is the mystery of it and the searching into it and the digging. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people enjoy about the Mandela effect. The effect itself it's kind of spooky and crazy, but kind of cool at the same time. Like I enjoy seeing Mandela effects now. I look for them like what's changed, and so I don't look at it as a negative thing that things are changing in the reality. I just look at the next chapter as let's figure out what is changing these things in our reality. We already know it's changing, right? And we know logos are changed, movie change. We know all these changes are happening. But what is the next chapter? We got to figure out why it's changing, and that's
guys,
that's the hunt for me now.
If you're looking for Jimmy's channel, he's in my featured list. He's actually going to be getting out of YouTube jail, I think, on the 9th in 3 days.
Yep, 3 days.
And 3 days.
Wow.
Free. I'm going to zip this up. Jams, please stay on the line for a few minutes after I end the broadcast because I want to talk to you for a second. Right. You guys, if you enjoyed this and enjoyed this kind of format, please let me know in the comments below. We can do this more often because I tell you, we share what we know and we listen so we can grow. And this is an amazing time that we are going through. And I just love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm, finding out and discovering about myself. And a lot of it, I hear synchronicities and other people's testimony, which helps give me the bravery to move forward. And I'm hoping that that is doing the same for you guys. And, we're all in this together. Remember that. We're holding hands side by side. Not a hierarchy, but we're in this together. Unity in diversity. So please like, share, and subscribe. Give me that thumbs up, guys. Peace. I'll talk to you soon.